Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I don't even know what time of day it is. Good afternoon. No, not afternoon either. Good morning. I must be tired still. I don't know. Running 5 miles apparently drain your concept of time. Um, so yeah, I'm just trying to. What I'm trying to do here is create a grid for the football field that I can use on every football field that I in the game. I want to have different. I don't know. I'm going to try to have different football fields, like different grass, mud, different states of texture. But I got to have the same. I got to have my field looking pretty good. So, I mean, like the lines. So how do I do that? Well, what I'm thinking is I'm gonna clear out all of this and um, just use it for. This has kind of got a weird look. Just use the lines as an overlay to whatever kind of field I'm using, right? So I can have like a mud field, a grass field. I don't want astroturf. This is very turfy, right? It's very fake, kind of. It's very much not. Um, it's not a very nice. I mean, it's very clean and it works well for. Oh shoot! Don't want to touch my letters because that erases my letters or my numbers. Um, I need a nice clean overlay that I can drop on top of any kind of surface and get, have something that, it's going to look good. The numbers will look good over the top of it. Now, I think I might save a couple of these. I did one earlier that I might save that is a lot of erased numbers, but I think that'll look good like on a muddy field. Have a field that just kind of looks kind of crappy. But it doesn't matter, right? Because we're just going to put the numbers over the top. It's like we'll call it a mesh, like we're going to be doing with a lot of other stuff, with the characters, hopefully giving costumes and stuff. I don't know how that stuff works. I am not a graphics guy. I'm hoping that the Lord will either send me to somebody that's interested in helping me do the graphics. I mean, actual design stuff. I'm not so much worried about the functional stuff. I'll probably figure that out graphically connecting it or connecting to the graphics. But what I am struggling with is how I'm going to make things look good artistically. Like, how am I going to do all the cool ideas I have for graphic stuff? Somebody out there knows, and somebody likes football. Somebody would love to be part of this video game that I'm making. I would love to find those people that would be interested in being and helping out with that. Okay, now I gotta change my the size of this thing. Gotta make this way bigger. And now I'm not too worried about the. I just don't want to get. I just got to keep the white parts looking white. And I think we're okay for the most part. All right. A little bit of border never hurt. It'll help call out the white lines a little bit. All right, so let's now shrink this down to a smaller dot. Like maybe this big. Let's zoom this in a little bit more. I really need this to go. See, it's hard to tell because when you go, you can barely tell that it's because it puts in these gray and white lines, so you can't tell. gray and white squares, and that's such a small. Then I gotta scroll around. Huh. This is it's a little tedious, but I think it'll make for a pretty decent background. It'll make a nice overlay of just about any field I want to stick on the screen. Okay, so we got some over here too. And these are the big ones. I still got to go do the small ones, which are going to be even more fun to try to figure out. Alright, so I'll take it over here now. I gotta go do these ones. Oh, what is that weird thing in the middle? I don't think that's normal. Weird. Okay, 3 on the field at once, 3 on the screen at once, man. So, gotta just trying to get enough of it out that when I did it earlier, I just did a swipe over everything and it worked, except it kept deleting good chunks of my lines would disappear too, and that was problematic. But actually, I thought that would look good in on a muddy field. Okay, so let's save this. We'll call this file save. Let's save as. No, what the heck am I? File save as. Images. What images are these? Football. Okay, so that works. Do I want to put that down as an overlay? Then I can put a background and then just use it as an image. I can drop it on top of anything. Yes, we will try something like that. And then I can just drop fields down and different things down, and then just drop this drop this over it. And as long as my dimensions of my field are the same, this will always fit. So we're going to call it. We'll call this. We got to save it as a PNG so that it stays background clean. And we're going to call this field lines. Yeah, okay. So now what I'm hoping is so we can get things kind of looking pretty good. If I start laying my field lines down with like background. So if I need to come up with, like, for example, if I take this texture, this texture, and select it, go over to my field lines, send it to the back, and now, voila, I've got me I've got me a more grassy looking field than I had a minute ago. Oops, but I need to select this one so I can resize it. Now the only problem is, of course, I'll have to have I may have to either get a bigger chunk or some other way to shrink this a little bit. Make it look. All right, there you go. So there you go. I got a grass field now. So if I drop this on any background, I put down the grass and then I put my field on the top of it, I end up with a grass field. If I put it with a muddy field, put this on top of it, I get a muddy field. And now if I have my stadium being its own little thing, where I just put that down as also with a big hole of color in the middle, and it would just shine through all of it, right? So it'll be a multi-layer image, but it would allow me to have some flexibility in what the appearance of my field looks like. So I think that might be kind of cool. Now, the granularity of this is a little huge, but I don't think it's terrible. And then the thing is, if I expand this, I'm a little worried about the expanding it. Okay. You can see the grass grains are gargantuan, right? They're like super huge. And if I decide to go with the zoomed play, like a lot of games, I've noticed a lot of these online games are doing like 20 yards. So this way you can see your players better, right? So you have 20 yards of field, and my angle is not terribly good either. So if I'm doing a 20 yards worth of play, which would make sense, I'd be able to see so much more. I'd have my players could be kind of decent sized and they're going to take up more space, but the angle of the field is not good for 20 yards worth of play. So what I mean by 20 yards worth of play is like you'll see like there will be a snap, the ball snap here, you got the players here, and then the camera just moves with you while you're moving down the field at 20 yards. If I do this, oh here, I got this guy open. Why do I have this guy open? I don't know. I don't even think that's right. But most games, it seems, dang it, go away. Ah, go away. We'll go here and go to football. Now, Big Win Football, let's go look at Retro Bowl. I think Retro Bowl does the same thing. It does about 20 yards. Okay, so if I go continue, I don't think I have continue. All right, go play. This one does 10, 20, 30 yards. 30, and you're looking straight down on the field. You know, I don't know. I mean, this is because you have to have control, so it's easier. And it's kind of interesting. The angle is weird, too, on this. I mean, you kind of need it. If you're going to play sideways, you kind of need it to be straight at you, right? You need it to be facing up. This way, everything is perspectively correct. But your players are all sideways. So they're like running sideways on the screen. So if you kick off, so I'm kicking off to him, and I got to do this dumb thing. Trucking, hold. I don't even know what that is. Who cares? All right, so see how your players are technically kind of sideways. They're leaning up. They have to be. Yeah, you have these side views of players. They just sit on the field, and it works. It's kind of like, okay, you got it. You kind of have everybody on there, but is it ideal? I mean, I don't know, for a sim, it does let you see what's happening, but I kind of like Big Win Football's way to do it. You don't need to worry so much about, I mean, it's almost like you needed to change perspective, right? Because the players in the back should be smaller than the players in front. I don't know if Big Win Football bothers with that, but a lot of the games have an angle that's more kind of like you're looking at it. I want to say kind of like from the second deck. sideways from the second deck, so you kind of have like a sort of downward view. But again, this one's using 10, 20 yards, maybe 25 yards is on the field. And this one has control. I'm not going to put any control on mine. Sorry, guys. All you guys looking forward to a Madden killer. Yeah, there's not going to be no Madden killer here. Oops, interception. All right, well, whatever. Now, Big Win Football. This is the way Big Win Football does it. I give Big Win Football's kind of got my I like the way they do it. That they do a nice sim. And this game is fully a sim. Yeah, it doesn't do much beyond the basics as far as team management goes, but it has a very nice simulation setup. Interestingly enough, they run the exact same play. It's like an option. They sometimes pass, sometimes run, but it's the same formation. They don't change. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they do have some different routes in there for the players. I don't know what they're doing exactly, but okay. So this is Big Win Football's look, and if you look at it, it does 20. I mean, the angle makes you feel like you're seeing a lot of field while the camera's moving, but it's really only about, I think, from the time it snaps. Now this is going to keep moving, so I won't be able to kind of see, but you can see it's roughly from the line of scrimmage, you've got about 15 yards of view, and not even fully. You don't have the whole field. Now for a sim, it's okay because you don't need to see everything on the field, and you hope the camera, and the camera moves if it happens to go where you can't see. So if it does throw, to the near side of the field, the camera will shift down. Good grief. I'm supposed to be able to break up those passes. That's why I picked that card. Good grief, man. I'm not even tackling him. He's probably going to win. All right, so see how the camera shifts down to the bottom when it actually comes that way? See, this one just does a really good job of the simulation, and it's got a nice big screen. It uses up a lot of space. But I don't think I'm going to use up that much screen. I want to use, geez, I'm just like, my defense is terrible. It's just watching my team get run over here. Anyway, so this is on a fold phone. So if I was, here's the idea I have, and I don't know, maybe it doesn't work, but I'd like to split the screen or do like 3/4 screen, has the field. Jiminy criminy, guys, tackle somebody. It's like, I am terrible. We need to like punch it, man. Get in there and wreck this guy. Ah, we held. Gotta hold him one more time though. Let's see. Oh, gee, that whole quarter? He had the ball for the whole quarter? Jeez. I didn't even get the ball. Hey, that's not bad. We stopped him. He has to kick a field goal, considering he was first and goal on the one. So I know I get distracted by it. I like this game. See, this is what a sim should look like. It'll be even better when it's doing more interesting stuff. I mean, really, all this does is the same thing over and over. It runs a few cool plays. You're kind of, and the only input you have into this game at all is those cards, and those cards have little effects on different parts of the game. And of course, your ability to pick players. So having an effect in the game, my idea is that if you want to have a strong effect, for one, you can set up your game plan to be very thorough and you're controlling a lot of what plays are getting called. But two, you can actually be the coach. And what OS is this? This is Android. This is Android. And did he just fumble? It looked like he fumbled. Oh, he did fumble. Check it out, man. I got the ball. Oh, I wish. No, 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 no. I wish mine looked like this. I haven't even got. Come on, you've been watching me develop. I haven't even done the UI on my game yet. No, I've just been talking about kind of how much feel these games show. I was looking at the Retro Bowl a second ago. And this has about 20 yards of field. And this game, to me, does one of the best visual sims. Hey, I'm going pretty fast, but they're not that fast. No, plus I don't know, and this I don't know what engine this uses. I wonder if there's a way to find out. Let's see if my buddy here can tell me. There is an Android game called Big Win Football. Don't suppose you know what graphics engine it uses, or where I might find out. By Hothead Games. Unfortunately, specific graphics isn't mentioned in the available information. To find out, you could try reaching out to Hothead Games directly through their official website or their privacy page, as developers often provide technical details upon request. Alternatively, forums like Reddit might have insights from other players or developers familiar with the game. It's kind of cool. Well, I guess it's pretty easy to find out who develops it. But no, I am impressed by this simulation. It's a very basic sim, but graphically speaking, it looks really good. And I have way more ambitious ideas for what I want my sim to look like. I don't know. A lot of these Android games and other really the nicer looking simulations are very much built from the UI first, which kind of makes me nervous because I'm building mine from the back end first, which means the entire play and how it progresses is completely decided on the back end. And then I'm going to pass that information to the front end and have the front end draw or render the play as it's created by the back end. So it's going to be interesting because honestly, I don't know that any other games are doing it the way I'm doing it. Because first of all, a lot of these games on here are not back-end games. They have no back-end. They're all developed on the app itself. So I think they're assigning actions to the players, and then the players go out and perform them. You know, basically you're saying move guys here, move guys there, throw a ball to these guys, or maybe there's some decision-making process. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's good in premise. But the question is, how well will that be? How well does that transfer to the front end if you're not designing it from the front end? So that's what I'm nervous about. I don't know. I haven't gotten in. That's why I want to get in there and start fiddle-faddling with that stuff. But I can't get to that yet because I have to finish building the back end. I'm building it up. It's getting closer, and I feel like last night, I came to the conclusion I have to build that 10th service. The one I have it implemented or connected, but it's not doing anything really. The 10th service is League. And here's the thing, everything is now connected. Okay, so it's no longer this guy is going to score. What a jerk. I was driving good. I think I turned over the ball to him. Intercept. What is it, second and goal? Stop it. Make him kick a field goal. He won't kick a field goal though, because he's probably low on time. Get him! Oh, come on. Oh, sack, yeah. 4th and goal. Is he going for it? Oh, he's kicking a field goal. Good. It looks like... What do you mean? It looks like you got a team, but you're a solo one. What do you mean? Oh, you mean like I have multiple people working on the app? uh, oh, yeah. Well, I do have a team. It's me, Claude, and ChatGPT. That's my team. Oh, and sometimes I invite Gemini to come and assist for a while. I honestly, I cannot, I would not be as far as I am without those. So really, they are part of my team. I'm working with a lot of code I had, before I started here, I didn't know anything about. And how did he get the ball again? Did I turn over the ball? What the heck, man? Oh, interception. I got the ball back. Let's stop that. What the heck? I'm letting this run. Oh, really? Come on, Dick. What a terrible name. But see, I want to do things like my sim. Here's some of the things that are planned for my sim. Okay, so while the sim is running, I want to be able to have the stadium's going to be showing a little bit here, and you'll be able to click on the stadium and trigger emojis on the screen. I'm hoping to be able to have certain things going on that if you do certain things with the screen, you can have things like the fans do things. Or you could even when they're I'm going to actually have the players running back to the what do you call it, to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, it's not, you'll be able to trigger the fans cheering, but there'll be like an emoji, like you click and then all of a sudden one guy will stand up, it'd be big, like an emoji, it's gonna pop up on the screen. More than just being a fan, it'll be like cheer, and then maybe they'll I'll have some little GIF emojis or something where you click on them, and if you do you'll do like that, it'll create it'll have like 2 or 3 guys doing the wave, and then if you do these actions, you might be able to you'll have an effect on the game in a way where you affect the morale on your team by triggering the fans. What just happened there? What is going on? Oh, wait. Tell me this is not a bug. Why are we snapping the ball from the end zone? What just happened there? I think they just did a safety. There's a bug in their safety. They need to fix that. I didn't even realize. So there was some kind of safety. The ball fumbled and my guys got in there. And then there was a weird snap in the end zone. And then they punted the ball to me. That was weird. I never seen a safety on this game. But there's only 148 left. As long as I don't screw up, I could win this. Oh, am I going to kick a field goal from Timbuktu? Yeah, no. Oh, did he make it? Oh my gosh, he made it. Wow. That's weird. I've never seen a safety on this game. But other things I want to be able to allow you to do is when players are running down the field, you could tap on one of them and he'll turn and cheer it and acknowledge you. Kind of have you're like a fan. You're not just watching, but you have an effect on the game. That's what I want to have. And you can also be coaching your plays. Like here, you have no control. I mean, once you've picked the cards that have a tiny effect on the game, that's it. You just watch the game. So I want to have you be able to interact with the game, even though you're not controlling the players. So it makes the sim more immersive, more enjoyable. So that's what I'm going for. Look at this. 7 and 8. I've lost a lot of times. This game, I've heard. Okay, so let's see. Where's the? So all right. So this one doesn't have a lot. This is kind of the extent of your stats. I mean, you don't have a ton of stats. You don't have any real control. So this game is very basic. Again, like most of these games, there's two sorts of football games out there. Okay, there's your front end graphical simulation games where you either get a play or get cards or do whatever you're doing, but it's very this is like, as far as card collecting games, this one's about as nice looking as they get. Now there are a few others. Now I like the art style. Let's see, go away. This one can go away now. So like this one, or let me go through here. So this is the extent of your offensive control, right? So you put in a few cards. I have a guy who's injured. I don't have another card to put in. That kind of thing should not be a thing. But you have to get cards. I don't have any other cards, and the only way to get cards is guess, money. You need the green money. Now these coins will help you to get those special cards that run the game. The green money you have to buy, or maybe you get lucky and get some here and there, but it's really hard to get players on your team. So without paying money, that is a paywall that I don't like. My game will not have that. You will not have problems having players on your team. You may have problems getting to collect certain players and upgrading the looks of cards and the dresses of the cards, which is what I'm shooting for, to have a kind of like a Marvel Snappy thing where your players start improving in appearance and maybe even have awards and markers on them. Things that show, hey, this guy has rushed, he's been MVP and he's played these kind of plays and he's done all these kind of things and he'll have cool borders, and that's what I'm shooting for. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm shooting too high. Maybe I'm making the sky's the limit problem, but I'm hoping to make your purchasable things, what do you call it? Graphical. It's things that don't affect the game. I want people to be able to play the game regardless. Yes, you can get players. You'll be able to get cards from packs and that kind of thing. But those, when you get cards from packs, those go into your collection, allowing you to start getting them experience and getting them upgraded and start to do stuff with them once they're in your collection. Now, even the players on your team, which you may not all be in your collection, will eventually end up being on your team. So when you draft players, they come on your team, and if they become stars and they play a lot, they'll earn experience. Once they hit a certain collection level of experience, they will become yours. They become cards that you earn. And then future collection experience will get them upgraded. Additionally, they're going to get their own experience and stuff to be able to become better players. But that's the game side. So I'm still working on all of I haven't gotten to the point of working on the pay elements yet, but I have plans for the pay elements. And again, I want to get the game working first. And then from there, the other option is what I almost want to do instead is make it a just buy the game option. Like you pay $10, you get the game in all of its function. But the only problem with that is then the collection element kind of loses its oomph, right? Because, well, you own the game. I mean, what is it you're going to get? Do you still build your collection up just because it's fun? I guess, maybe. And then each year I would release more players, more as an upgrade. You can spend, $10 and there'll be more players added to your league and you can potentially get more players. I don't know. Android games, phone games, they are not, people don't buy them the same way, right? I mean, there are some, yeah, you can pay $10 or $12 for an Android game, but that's like the extent of it, right? Nobody's going to pay 30, 40, $50. And then you kind of cap yourself out with what you can do as far as making money. You're just going to go say, all right, I sell for $10. If I can get 1,000 people to buy it, yay, I made $10,000. But that's it. You're capped, no more. And if you don't, so trying to come up with the pay structure for this is going to be challenging because like I said, I really want people to be able to play it. And the thing is, if you have a free play option, you're going to get more player base. More people will download it and just play it. And then you just hope that you can get some of those people to want to pay, buy stuff. And you got to give them something to buy, though. What's the value that they're gaining? So anyway, I wanted to show one more game before I get back to work here. So this is another game. This, I know the guy who does this. He goes by the online name Beeoo, something like that. This guy actually worked on this game, and this is a game they're just releasing. It's called Super Tiny Football. Now, this one looks a lot like Retro Ball. In fact, it functions a lot like Retro Ball. So, the only thing is it's got a lot of play walls. Also, they put some new stuff in. See, it's not even version 1 yet. So, they haven't, this is technically like, I don't know if it's a beta or pre-release or whatever you want to call it. This just, these guys just went to GameCon or something like that to try to find publishers. And that, so, but they've obviously got it out on Android. So it's a game, but they're trying to, get it going. So I kind of like the art style they used. So you got quarter length, crowd quality, performance setting, player uniform number editing. Wow, really? Oh, premium. Players now see more action on the field. Tuning, better trade value, trade, retire players, defensive sim. So, yeah. I like the cheerleaders thing. I think that's cool that they did that. It adds a pretty cool style to it. And I've always liked the dark shadowed animation, which kind of looks like, I think that's called Noir style. I don't know why it's called that, but it kind of has that kind of dark, deep shadow cuts everywhere. And it just makes everything kind of pop cool. So I kind of like the animation style. So their game, see, they got some pretty cool animations on there. And I've talked to the guy a couple of times. He actually wanted to talk to me about, because they don't have a back end on their app. This game has no back end. In fact, if you delete this from your phone, it's gone. There's no more of it. There's no recovering it. It's gone. So I don't know. Maybe, I don't even know if they have a way to store it like back up somewhere. It might have something, but as far as I know, you install it another app, it goes away. And he even said that, everything you purchase or whatever, if you lose it off your app, your phone, it's gone. Not great, but apparently that's pretty common. A lot of these small studio Android games don't have backends. They go away. There's nothing to them. So I didn't know that, but apparently it's very, very common. So be forewarned if you're buying stuff online. Okay, so this is like your roster. Similar to Retro Bowl, you get very limited number of players. Okay, so you got star players. You can have 16 players on your team. Looks like 16. This one has a max salary of 60. And then they rate your players. Now, again, a lot like Retro Bowl, you're very limited on what players you have. They don't have much going in the way of what they do. Let's see. What if I click on this guy? Does this do anything? Okay, so you get a little bit of information. You get a little bit of information with your stuff, but the guys kind of gave you stuff. So you get a feel for him. It looks like this guy has they show you what his potential is or what his max values are. Where it says 11, 7, 12. They got 10, 11, 10 of 11, 3 of 7. So they're going to upgrade over time and get better and hopefully hit those levels. And again, you got the problem of if you don't have the cards, you can't add the cards. So if there's nothing, I can't change this player unless I go try to trade him. Draft pick. I can trade for a draft pick. But again, I kind of like the graphics. Remember, mine is not going to be all humans. I'm of the feeling Why? Why do they have to all be random looking humans? It's like, let's have some fun with it. They could be weird creatures and characters. I'm good with that. I think it's going to look cool, but I may be asking for a lot of trouble because it means I can't use a singular player model. I have to have 32 player models. And I don't know, does that slow things down? Different models? Maybe, probably. I don't know. Does running a back-end system where the UI has to follow the path provided by my back-end data, does that slow things down? See, these are all things I'm not sure how the performance is going to be. Is it going to work? That's why I'm nervous. I don't know how it's going to work, but we're going to definitely see how it goes. I hope within the next 3 months, this is probably really, I might be reaching, might be 4 or 5 months, maybe 6, to have some amount of, the simulation going. I mean, with players doing stuff on the field. I don't know how much and how well and how ironed out that's going to look, but I'm hoping that's my goal. 6 months, I have a fully functional simulation. How buggy it's going to be and how well it works. But that's my cap on my goal. That doesn't mean the game's going to be done because I have a lot of stuff that needs to go on top of that. But that's my goal. So, what is that? Is that a player? Scout. Oh, you see like a currently scouting for all players. Oh, he's see, I plan to have these kind of players too. The offense, defense. This is about the same level of guys I'm going to have. I don't know how much deeper I go. I actually plan to have medical team as well, a team doctor and a trainer. The difference is doctors will help your guys recover faster when they get injured. They can contribute to how fast or how well a player recovers. The team trainer, like these guys, offensive trainer, defensive trainer, I didn't even know there was a separate thing. What do these guys do? Your offensive trainer, along with your facilities, help speed up training of your offensive star players. Back in my day. And then these random stats in the middle. Yacht rock hours listened. I don't know what that means. They just threw random crap in there. I don't know what that's supposed to do. I do like the idea of facilities upgrades, but I don't know how or what or even if I'm going to put that in. I like the concept. Maybe I build it in at some point. But a lot of games do this too. Retro Bowl does this, where you can upgrade your facilities. I don't know that this... I don't know if this does a visual upgrade, because this is it. As far as I know, this is the picture. This little picture here, that's what you see. So, speed and endurance. What does practice do? Oh, that's the practice field. Oh, okay. Get your QB throwing, your wide receiver catching, and your defenders tackling on the practice fields. Boost. See, I don't know. I feel like that's like, it's kind of cool, but to me, do your players play better because their fields are nicer? I guess. I mean, I could see a better gym. That could make a difference. Functional difference, because, if you're just using a couple of basic things, you're not going to do as well. What the heck is an athletics? That just means a track? Speed, endurance training. I could upgrade these. Let's see what happens if I upgrade it. Let's upgrade the gym. I just want to see if it changes the picture at all. Yeah, it did. Got bigger. But again, it's only on this screen. So there's nowhere else on the field. Like if I have, you see my starting window. Is it even up? Let's go back here. Is it loaded? No. So if I'm using this, I would have the basic buildings down. And that's the thing. I'm thinking I need to come up with a different image because I kind of want it to look more generic to start. You know, like you could upgrade stuff. Like I have a practice field over here, and I have my stadium here, and but I don't need all these buildings, right? Because I'm not using them all. Like I could have a. I don't want to call it. I mean, the thing is, I have an idea in my head of how I want things to be thematically laid out. Scouting, draft picks, draft pick. Why? I'm not even doing draft picks right now. Trades, free agents. There's some bad free agents. 17 million. But again, these are star players, which means you only get 15 of them, 16. So this game kind of like doesn't want to give you, it doesn't give you full team management. And it's partly because it doesn't build a lot of stuff. Well, thanks. Thanks for the confidence. What is this? The two towers. What is that? What is this? What is that? Purchase the stadium? Oh, it's a stadium. Huh. So, and then of course you got all your buy stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of buy stuff in this game. This game's got a ton of buy stuff. Changing your uniform, upgrading, I don't know. So I don't know. Again, a lot of that stuff is graphics, and that's the stuff I kind of want to have be pay elements. People could do stuff with their pay elements. But anyway, let me go play game here. I wanted to show how this looks graphically, how their stadium, how they play out their games. So let's see how much field they show at once. It's got a nice field, it's got a nice texture, makes it look kind of legit. Nice side view. Overall, this looks a lot like mine with the lines and stuff going on here. Oh, I'm on defense. Because this is a game that doesn't show you defense. Just like Retro Bowl, they don't show you when you're on defense. So they kick off, and then, if I'm correct, all your players come onto the field. Okay, so they show a lot more field, 10, 20. They show about 30, almost 40 yards of field, and your players are really super tiny. I don't know if there's a way to just sim this game, though. Yeah, there's not really a way to sim the game. The guys are super small. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I like the way Big Win Football does it better. It just less field, bigger guys. It just looks better. And again, although I like the texture of this field, it doesn't fit my fantasy theme. I want like rougher grass, maybe mud, just things that look like not AstroTurf. Yeah. Anyway, so and this one's like again, it's very much retro bowly. It's got the same. Basically it's the exact same for the play as Retro Bowl. Retro Bowl is just 8-bit graphics, and it's probably the worst as far as the graphics go. But I like the layout of like Big Win does it in smaller space. And for us, I see you need to have more screen when you're playing side view like this and you're controlling the game. So if you're controlling it, you need to see more field. A lot of games will turn it on the end and you're playing from an end zone and you're behind the quarterback. So that lets you see more down the field as well. I'm just trying to decipher, what's the best way to, yeah, I don't know. The more I look at this, I don't like the AstroTurfy look. I don't this one's the running game on this one is like non-existent. It's really hard to run. Oops, totally did not lead that guy. My bad. Boom. I'm only going to play this drive, promise. I'm not going to do any other thing. I just kind of like to see how they do this. See, you got pretty decent looking fans up there. See how tiny they are? So like if you were able to see this, I'd be able to do stuff like tap on the screen and make the fans do stuff. Because I wouldn't have any effect on the actual game. What happened there? Is that the end of the quarter? Oh, this one's only got, oh, they're 2 minute quarter, or 2.5 minute quarters. Retro Bowl does 2 minute quarters, so I guess they feel like that's how they're being different. They feel that's how they get to be a different. Oh no, we're not like Retro Bowl. We have 2.5 minute quarters. Oops, I got sacked. 2nd and 14. Yuck. All right, let's see if I can make anything out of this mess. Touchdown, yay me, I'm the greatest. All right, so yeah, see, they have a nice little zoom. This is kind of one of the things I want to do too. Have, touchdown celebrations, have things happen when your guys score. And I want them to, again, big ideas and no graphics talent. That's big ideas, no graphics talent, and no idea how to use, no idea how to do animations. So not an animator, no graphics talent, big ideas. Big ideas will get me there, or will get me an idea. But basically, I'm hoping God's going to lead me to a person, praying, Lord, at some point, introduce me to somebody who knows graphics and wants to be part of this. So I will have, if everything goes the way I want, I will have a team of some kind, even if it's only one other person. Ideally, I have 2 other people. I'll tell you the 2 people I want on my team. I want a graphics expert who knows digital graphics and how to manipulate put cool meshes on your stuff and manipulate the appearance of things. I'm going to figure out the functional parts of things, but manipulating the graphics and doing all that cool stuff, I kind of really want somebody who can assist me on that. The other person, marketing. Somebody who just knows how to do the marketing, who can do images and videos and put stuff out on the web and set up Kickstarters and Indiegogos and just promote stuff, and that's just their thing. Those are the 2 people I want on my team. And then I think I'd be good to go. Now, granted, I can do the development work, the back end stuff, logic stuff. I could even do the management stuff and the controlling and guiding and directing, but I'm worried about the graphics part because that is just not. It's like I have ideas on how I want to improve this image I have, but I don't know how. I don't even know, because AI can make some pretty good graphics, but it can't. All right, so this is one of the things I was doing. What do you think of this field? Instead of the weird green field. See, this one looks more like it's got a grassiness, a homey look. It's a little bit better. What I might even try to do is I might prefer to. What if I go with like that and then kind of connect these 2. Let's make sure I didn't. Oh, I did that one pretty good. Only problem with this is doing a texture like this is you can see the lines where it's not quite right. This allows me to have a better looking texture though. Maybe I have this too small. What if I send this one to the front? Then I can shrink that one to the back. Oh, actually, no, that one should be right there. There you go. That's better. All right, so kind of eliminate that weirdness. And then, so yeah, that would be my, yeah, that looks a little bit better even when you zoom in. Grass is still a little huge, but it's not as bad as it was. But I like this field better. See, it has a more natural look, like something you'd actually see. So that's kind of what I would like to kind of pull off. And now I just need my stadium. My stadium is terrible. I don't like my stadium at all. And it doesn't, it's not a rendered stadium, so it's just a fake image. It doesn't do anything. And then I see these graphics, these games that have these nice stadiums and people jumping up and down in the field. I'm like, oh, that looks good. How do they do that? And I mean, I'm sure they're doing it inside of the app, right? So the question is, how? So, yeah, I'm going to be trying to figure that out. Now, I may even have to change this. I don't think the angle on this is right. So if I zoom in, let's say if I was going to do the 20 to 30 yard thing. See, let's see if I'm going to do 20. Oh, let's see if I was going to do 20. Let's say even allow 30 yards of view, and even if we're just kind of bordering. See, this is kind of I can't quite do 30 yards of view, not on that area of width. So my guys are line, yeah, I have to almost flatten it out a little bit more. It's too much upright. But overall, I think it looks pretty good as a field. What I'm actually thinking of doing is being able to just change out the textures. So I would create background textures and then I just overlay my field on it, and bam, I can play any kind of field I want. I can play muddy fields, snowy fields, whatever fields, and just drop my line textures over the top and it would just work. Now I'd have to come up with a way to make the line textures, like I would have to create a snowy field that allows like maybe it's mostly white and then a lot of the lines disappear because the snow's over them. Or I'd have to build a snowy texture that just got random snow and I just drop it on top of the field. And it covers up stuff. But, you know, I think I could do a lot of different textures just as long as I have the line field, and I do. I created my special field lines, which is this one, so I can't really put this texture on the background. I can't save it like this. But what I'll probably do is save as, and we'll say, I'm really thinking I don't want to have too many pre-made I want it to be merged image anyway, so nearly. I still think I may have to change the angle though. I don't think the angle allows for play. Like if I really wanted to keep this in a good state, just position wise and what I can see, I would have to zoom it about this much. That might be about the best I could do. How much field is that? That's a lot of field. 10, 20, 30, that's like 40, 45. And that means your guys are going to be really tiny. And we saw on Super Tiny Football how the guys are really small. And I don't know if I want them that small. And I think I want things to kind of, have a little bit of view of your guys, which means bringing it in more and just having a better angle on the field and letting your guys run around on the field. So that's the goal, man. All right. So in the meantime, I'm going to have to do more with this in time, but I'm going to have to slow down on that. Let's get to work on wait, what do I have addressed? Green shot. No. I'll just close it. All right. Let's see here. I gotta check. I hate door dashing, but I do have to DoorDash if they're paying extra. I assume they aren't. They seldom do, but I have to at least look. They've been pretty stingy lately. Nope. Okay, so I don't have to DoorDash today. In fact, I can't. There's no spots open. Can't schedule even. Can't do it now. Can't schedule. So, oh darn. I'm gonna not DoorDash today. All right. So my idea for how I'm going to render, I want to have like a ticker tape on a ticker on the bottom, like they do with the various NFL games where you got your score and stuff on the bottom, a little scoreboard. This is a big scoreboard, and it doesn't really matter. Where I lay it out, it's not going to matter. I can put that anywhere I want. I want to put an overhead board. Dude, I got so many plans I've written down and the things I want to put into this game, and so I gotta focus on getting the main parts done. So let's get to work. I keep talking about what I want to do, what my plan is, but until that stuff is actually able to be spent time on, it's kind of like moot point. Let's get the stuff done that needs to be done. Okay, so yesterday I realized I need the leagues. Well, if I don't want to try to disconnect stuff in order to make other stuff function fully, I need to start connecting other things. So what that means is I need to do something like create a well, there's two parts. I need to activate the leagues, create it so that I can actually have people join a league. And then I have to have players that I can assign to teams. Oh, but I gotta get the simulator working. And all that stuff is going to take some time. I want to get the simulator working and spending time on that. I mean, I don't even have a way to assign, technically, I don't have code in to assign players to a team. Short of me just going in and doing an update and saying, hey, these players are on a team, which I could do. But so I've got to strategize this. I got to do this in a way that's the most concise. See, I have this problem. I go into the game plan here. I can't save the game plan because the game plans have to be assigned to a team. Now, unless I take that out and then have them optionally assigned to a team, which means you can work on a game plan separate from your team, which I guess I could allow that. Let's see, that would mean you could only have one. See, I'm trying to develop a lot of stuff into this game, and I'm not sure fully if that's a good idea. Like, one is having multiple game plans. Like, if you happen to have two teams, maybe you set up a different game plan for each team. Being forced to use the same game plan for each team, maybe you got a team that just happened to get some really good running backs and you're not doing so good with receivers, or maybe your QB is not great, or maybe you've got a really good, defense, and so you're going to play a little more conservative on offense. I mean, you could build game plans around the kind of players you have. That's why I kind of want to build the game plans to be able to be assigned to a team, or they would be assigned to a team. But I don't want to have people just having tons of game plans. Now, the other option is you have limited number of game plans. Like, I could just say you can create 5 game plans. Game plan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that'll allow you to switch them out for a team. Or if you have multiple teams, you can assign them. You can assign them to the different teams. I mean, really, how many different would you have? You might have a defensive one. You might have an offensive running, passing. I could see having 3 or 4 game plans. How about 3? I'm worried about the data that could take up, right? Or the space of data. I could always increase the amount later. Then if I only allow game plans, and game plans are associated to, they would be associated to a team. Like, maybe when you put a team, when a team is built into a league, you pick the game plan that they're going to use, or you can switch it out or whatever later. But this will allow me to build the game plans without needing a team. I'm still going to have to associate it to something, because eventually, in order for me to do my simulation, the game plan is going to have to be associated to a team. And can I run my simulation without a league? If I allow teams to exist outside of a league, I can. Huh. If I allow the teams to exist outside of a league, do I want to allow teams to exist outside of a league? So when the game starts, no, I think one of the first things people are going to do, the first things I'm going to drive them into doing is draft their team. And they'll have the choice. They can have it done by the system, or they can have it done, or they can do it themselves. They can draft a team. Now, I'm going to have like special types of leagues. So like your first league might only be like an 8-game season, and you play with less players, and you have eight game season. It's kind of like the practice warm up season league, and then your league will grow. You know, you unlock the ability to play a longer league. Um, yeah, but I just got to decide how if I want to make the game plans editable and savable now without assigning them to a team. I could say everybody who gets a new account automatically gets a team, but the team is just kind of a behind the scenes. it's not a functional team. It's just got a game plan assigned to it, and you've got team one or your team assigned to it. And then once you join a league, the team becomes visible and editable. That might be a good way to do it. Just kind of have that team kind of waiting in the wings. It belongs to you. You can edit your game plan, but it is attached to a team. And once you go into a league, that team gets assigned to that league, and now you've got your team to go on to that league. And that would probably work, because then if you do purchase an extra team, you would get another game plan. So every team could have their own game plan associated. Okay, I think that might work. You know what I haven't done, and I probably should start doing? I've been building up the notes, or I have, like, my game design is built totally into my OneNote. And it's been kind of growing, obviously, as I put more and more stuff in. And I have to keep taking more and more notes. Service architecture and requirements. So I think what it is we have 10 right now. Service count. We have service count. Let's see here. Do I have? Let's go ahead and let this show, because so you know what I'm working on. And it's not on screen. Okay, so I have 10 services right now. I have leagues. Wait, why didn't that? Oh, I think I have to do 2. Oh, I have to tab after it? Okay, leagues. I have leagues, user account. I have simulator. I have coach, playbook, game plan. I have the gateway. And I have players. Is that it? 4, 8. What am I missing? What am I missing? I am missing simulator. Oh, streamer. Streamer component. Now, if I go here and say new page, and we're going to say leagues. And let's go ahead and create the user account one, because the user account one is kind of driving what I'm working on right now. And the user account rules. User account contains Obviously all the user account data. User account details. Personal information. Username, streamer key, connected accounts, user ID, what else? Opt in for communication. User defined settings. Okay, so it also is going to have, it's going to have teams. Teams are assigned, each user is assigned one team at startup. Team is not editable until user joins a league. And then we will create a link to this needs to be renamed though. We're going to call this I don't know what I did with that. What did I do? Oh, I see. No, let's delete that. All right, so each user is assigned one team at startup. Team is not editable until user joins league. A game plan will be auto every team can be assigned a game plan. Now every team gets access to one user. All right, that's this. User can build one game plan for each team. Additional teams will be paid. Purchasable. Now some people like do things like they do a premium game where it's free to play, but then you pay premium and then you pay like $5 or $10 and you get to unlock stuff, unlock several things. I kind of sort of in a way get that. I don't know. I'd have to decide what it is I'd be unlocking. Because I have to decide what items don't break the game for the free people that premium gives the, like premium I could see giving an extra team for premium. Maybe there's some other little tweaks and stuff that you can do. I don't want to do stuff that's going to break. Like I don't believe that the people pay premium should get a bigger salary cap or more players on their team or better players on their team. Maybe they get to unlock a few more collectible booster packs they can get just because they paid premium. Maybe they can have access to different kinds of leagues. Maybe there's leagues that have different functionalities or different types of settings. That kind of thing. Allow you to maybe you can only join leagues if you're if you're free to play, but you can create your own league if you're premium. That kind of thing. Just try to give things that don't necessarily break how away games play, but allow everybody to, whatever they're in, they can be fully in, and they're going to be just as much chance to play as anyone else. But people who really like the game and want to do more, they can get premium and do more stuff, more options, more ways to do things. But not necessarily going to change. I don't want to give anybody an advantage simply because they paid for premium. I know people who pay want to get more, but they're going to get more. They're just going to get more access to the game, not more, not a better chance to win necessarily. Again, players you get on your availability is not the same as players you get on your team. Players you might just be in your collection, but they're not, you know, they have to come up on your team another way to get them upgraded. So I have plans and how that's going to work, but that's kind of how I'm planning to do it. Let's see. All right, so if I'm going to have teams do it this way, all right, so that means I don't necessarily need to have a league. Leagues. All right. Standard leagues will follow NFL rules. Yes, I'm using NFL rules. Hope the NFL is not going to complain about that. Oh, these rules look like our rules. Whatever. Standard leagues will follow NFL rules. 32 teams, 8 divisions, etc. Initial league will be less teams, less games, less players. The idea is that you're only going to have the basic number of players and there won't be any injuries in it. And you can get players throughout the season, adding players to your team, building it up. And then that team will be able to unlock or expand the league, so to speak. Teams. Oh, let's see. I don't have teams. Once a league. Once complete. Teams can. Once complete. Larger league. At or closer to official will be unlocked. This is kind of a training league. Introducing features and kind of a training league, introducing features. initial league. Will be less teams, less games, less players. Once complete, larger leagues at our learning setup to teach game. Teaches game allows increase in player owned. Collection. So I have this strategy for how I'm planning to do my drafts to start. It's going to be kind of interesting. I want people to be able to draft. When you get players, I want to give people like to start the game. They're going to get a pack, maybe two. I don't know, depending on what I'm putting in the packs. Sometimes it'll be players. Sometimes it'll be other stuff. I don't know what all is going to be in there. Plays. I think there'll be plays and players, and I haven't decided. I'm thinking it might be some of the things that my game actually has. I have these cards like let's see, like here's one called In the Zone, and it has a little tweak. They're like little influences you can throw in, but I'm trying to decide how those are going to play into a simulation. So they're like coaching cards, and that's like if you're coaching, you can play these kind of cards. You'd have to be doing a head-to-head or some other game where you're going up against another player or another player's team of some kind, and or even just having those in your deck in your like you might be allowed a certain number of plays and stuff in your game. Yeah. I call it, it's not called, it's part of the, okay, so these are really cool. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. This is the game. I designed this football game a while back, and it's a card-based game. It's a board game, a tabletop board game. Well, kind of. I mean, you have a football field on, and you have players on the field, and you manipulate them. It played pretty well. It was kind of long, though. I mean, like probably over an hour to finish playing. And I was kind of trying to figure out how to get it to play consistently at an hour, and I couldn't figure out. I haven't solved the how to do that yet, but I actually wanted to implement a lot of what that game did into this game. That was kind of my strategy. But additionally, this game doesn't do things like leagues and I mean, the game is just the game. You just play a game, right? And then any kind of leagues or organizations and stuff that you're going to do like that have to be done on the side. You set it up. This is just creating the game process. I kind of wanted the game to function off of stuff like this because for one, I think it's pretty cool. It gives you a lot to do in the game. But again, you're kind of, I guess you're not really controlling the players. I mean, it's like a game where you move the players, but you're not controlling them. And then you play cards that help you to succeed more with those players. But so the idea is that a lot of like these special cards that do special things are cards that they're effects within the game. So if certain players have them, or your coach has them, or you build them into your game plan, these are kind of things that you could just build in, and they are yours. In other words, they're not burn cards. Like I think Big Win Football gives you some cards, and you open these packs, and they give you these things, and you build your game plan. When you start the game, you assign 2 or 3 of the cards, and then those cards are in for the rest of the time, and they have an effect pretty much all the time. You'll see where they trigger. Maybe it's not every time, but they got a higher chance of X, Y, and Z happening. But you only have X, Y, and Z. You could build a game plan with a certain number of all these cards in there. Now I have a certain number of, there's going to cap what your playbook can actually have. And so all these things go into your playbook, and that includes the plays that you would have in the game. Now, this game doesn't have game plans, not actual game plans, but in a sense, you're building your game plan by putting these in it. So I would have like, I'm thinking I might actually put these, the effects that these cards have are small. I mean, little pluses here, little pluses there, little minuses here, there. They're tiny, but they can have effects, and they're only going to do so much at each given point. So they're like flashes. They're actually called on here skill flashes. So it's like your guy just does a little something. They actually, I think that's what I have them called on here. Skill flash, yeah, see? It's a skill flash. And all players can kind of have, some of them will have skill flashes that are built in to their player. But if you build them into your game plan, it kind of is an effect of, not only your game plan building, certain players like coaches and such will allow you to adjust in how many skill flashes you can put into your game plan. Like at first you may not get any because you don't have those kind of coaches, but you might have one that says you can put more offensive skill flashes in for this guy, or you can put more defensive skill flashes in with this guy. But maybe you're only allowed, or maybe this guy comes with a certain number of skill flashes. And they just kind of allow you to have your coaches having an effect on the game, a visual effect. You know when it's going to happen. So these kind of things I think are going to be kind of cool in the aspect that they're going to have an obvious appearance, rather than a lot of games do what do you call it, abstract effects that you can't tell what they're doing. Like this will give this thing an extra 2 on this little side skill, but you don't know how much that skill calculates into what the guy can do and whether it made an effect on the game. It probably did in some way, maybe, as your guys get better and their skills go up. But you might be adjusting skills that don't actually affect your guys' skill levels until they get, a number of boosts on those skills. Because remember, everything is balanced. So if it takes 2 or 3 to make this guy go up 1 point, getting an extra bit on something, you don't know how many points it's affecting anything. So does it have an effect? You don't know. So if you take that guy out, did it hurt your team or not? Well, you can kind of visually see what that guy does for your team if you have skill flashes in your team. Yeah, it might have a little effect on the side for actually teaching your guys, but having the skill flashes say, oh, well, this guy gets to do this and this guy gets to do that. And so he's actually adding something tangible to your team, making it a little bit more interesting to play with. So I have, I did put game plan. Oh, game plan. I gotta put game plan in here. You know, at some point you have to write everything down, right? What does it do? How do you market it? How do you make it happy? And if I'm going to get a publisher at some point, they're going to want to know what everything does. So this is where you define your strategy for each game. Features. We have all the game plan, situation planning. Situation planning. How about this? Situation planning. What play types? And favorite plays by. Game situation. By, let's see, what play types and favorite plays by down, distance, score. Separate for offense, defense, and special play types. I don't call it special teams because there are special play types. Special teams are still offense and defense. Some things need special handling, but like on offense, you would call a field goal is a special teams play. A punt is a special teams play. Those things are still offensive plays. You call the punt, you call the field goal in certain situations. Special plays, I mean, like even a two-point conversion is just an offensive play that you run at the 2-point conversion point. Whether you run it or not is the situation, not whether or not it's a special kind of play. I mean, you're going to pick your play. You could say something like, if it's, you set up a goal situation that's 4th and 2, basically is what it is, right? So you have a 4th and 2 situation. You call this. If you run a 2-point play, it just treats it as a 4th and 2. And it'll go look up your situation. What do you want to play on a 4th and 2 on goal, or 4th and 2 and a goal to go? Because that's a situation you can set up. You set what you want to do in that, and then you go, okay, well, I'm going to run a 2-point conversion. And then it goes and looks up your 4th and 2 with goal to go because that's what you're getting. Maybe you call something different if you get a penalty and it's 4th and goal and 7 yards to go. Still a 2-point play. It's just going to look up a situation that matches that. Extra point. That's really just that's also basically a field goal kick. But since it's weird, you don't call it like an offense. It's not a situation. You just call it. Then that would be a special play. You just say 2-point or extra point attempt. You pick 2-point or extra point attempt, and it's just going to do whatever. So they're separate. Like you might call like kickoffs and things like that are still, they don't really have a situation. Their situation is that it's a kickoff, right? So the question is, you still have to kick off the ball every time you score. That's a given. But do you do offensive or regular? So that's special situation. So there's special play types that only run under certain conditions, but they always run under those conditions. So you don't really get to pick whether you run the play or not, but what kind of play you do. So special types. Skill flashes. Add fixed number of these. To keep can be number allowed can be adjusted by various staff. Small one-time effects on gameplay. Oh, boy, I had a lot of good ideas in this game. I'm gonna have to remember to implement some of this. Huh. Tell you, man, I'm gonna have to use these. Okay, so then we have things like playbook. Hey, Paul, thanks for stopping by, Adisky. I appreciate it. You have a good day yourself. Take it easy. I'm going to be signing off here shortly too to take a midday get other things done break. Add plays and collection to plays used in game. Game plan can only use plays in the playbook. I think I've got it. I think I have how I want to solve the situation. I've come up with how my user account is. We're going to have our teams. Initial team is not visible until players are added to the team. So game plan, initial team game plan, however, can be edited. Without being edited, even if not yet. Even if team is not yet in edited or has any players. Now see, this is going to do, the playbook is also going to do things like features, tracks, player, play, tracks play, mastery. So here's the thing. I have it set up so who owns the mastery of a play when it's based on the players? So players can master a play with experience. But do I keep that tracked in the playbook or with the plays? Or do I keep that with the player? I don't think it matters. Either way, you're tracking information that's on both sides, right? But if a player is going to earn XP and the only thing they have is a link to the play, then we're going to keep assigning stuff to the player, because the play itself is just a play. It doesn't have, you don't master the play. So maybe play mastery is tracked on the play, on the player's thing. I think that's not going to work here. Because, yeah, I mean, you might get information back from the players, how many players, how many of them mastered it, show the players that have most gotten used to it. But I think play mastery is probably going to be stored with the players, because players do stuff, they get better at a play, we mark that. And we don't necessarily want to keep going back to the playbook to do that. Yeah, tracks. Okay, so it's not going to track play mastery. And do we upgrade? Would play upgrades? Maybe variants of plays, or I'm trying to think what would be. I'm trying to think what would be an upgradey thing you can do to plays, right? So if a play were to change and you have it in your playbook, you have this play. Once it's been ran a number of times, you can now run once it levels up, you can like earn audibles that work off that play. Because the idea is you have to know a play well before you can audible on it. So does that make sense? I mean, I'm trying to kind of make it make sense. I want you to be able to get upgrades by using plays. If you use a play a lot, you can get, maybe when it levels up, you get a new play. Just get another play option. So as plays get used, more plays become available. Tracks play usage. Usage earns new versions of the play. More plays. New plays. Just want to give people ways to keep unlocking stuff. Maybe a play unlocks random other plays, or maybe a play gets assigned certain other plays, and you only get it if you unlock certain plays. You know, kind of have these little things that you say, oh, I got to use this play. I want to see what this play is, so I'll start using this play more often. And they have like maybe a branch. You got very basic plays at first, and you play enough of these basic plays on the left side, you might earn some bigger, better plays on the left side. And if you're doing right side, or maybe you earn some audibles, or you start earning things track that can give you more plays to put in your playbook. You can also maybe even some come in packs, and you can earn packs, but packs, they're random. You don't know if you're gonna get a play or not. But I think, yeah. So just trying to figure out what you can get. Yeah. All right. New versions. Usage earns potentially more plays. More plays of same type or more plays of a related type. Side, run, direction, run/pass, special. Miscellaneous pack points. To open packs. Okay. What else could they do? I don't know if you necessarily want, what would be, do I want a visual upgrade to plays? I don't think so. I think you kind of want the plays to look good to start, but they're not going to be visually upgradable. Here's the problem with visually upgraded plays. If you're using them, people say, oh, well, that play looks like it's pretty fancy. He's upgraded that one a couple of times. That means they uses it a lot. But I mean, your basic plays will get it. Maybe we get some minor upgrades on a play usage, like once upgraded gets slight visual upgrade. Sharper border. What else? What can it be? Deeper colors. Or something. You kind of want things to look good at the start, but maybe they can look a little better. You know, sharper lines, just cleaner, just things that make them pop a little bit more, and you can kind of start off with the game looking a little less so, but as you get going, your cards all start looking better. The more you play, the more they just kind of get a little, not always fancy upgrades. Like players might get some really fancy upgrades, but like just having your cards get used and played with will start to dress them up. Get, like I said, nicer looking stuff. I'm probably thinking pretty big, but I want to have this stuff down as the roadmap as to what this game is going to be able to do. I do need to start working on this now, so I'm going to take a break. This is my 11 o'clock stop and get stuff done time. Go get myself out of my workout clothes and into some regular day stuff. And then we got some decent weather coming in, so I might be doing some pickleball later. So I don't know what the plan is there. My wife's what my wife's wanting to do when she gets home. But in the meantime, I will be back. So I'm going to take a short break. Probably around 12 I'll be back. And I will start. I think I need to attach a team so that my when I have a player get created, he automatically gets a team assigned. And therefore, I will be able to attach attach my game plan to it. And I think that's what I'm going to go with. I figured out that solution. We will do that next.